morning to all of you. Today we have an eminent guest lecturer, Mr. Kamal Rawat, who will guide us on how to crack the placement hurdle in a more effective as well as efficient manner. Before inviting him onto the podium, I would like to brief you about him. Mr. Kamal Rawat was working as a senior computer scientist with Adobe before starting MCN Professionals. He has worked in multiple development environments, including telecom, application and services, and production and development. Now I would like to call upon Mr. Kamal Rawat on the podium. Sir.
Thank you for this introduction. First of all, I really apologize for keeping you waited. Normally we are at least half an hour before the schedule, but today, we were here around and we were just roaming around in the traffic for last 45 minutes. So my apologies for that, and I hope I'll be able to cover as much as I can in next 1.5 hours, since we are already short of half an hour. So if I'm not able to cover, I'll be really happy to come again, and this time I'll be on time because I know the place now. So I was coming from Noida, so it took me time. All right, so we'll be talking about how to prepare for placements. What do you think is the okay? So can I work without mic, because I'm really comfortable interacting without mic? Am I audible at the end?
You can use this.
Am I now audible?
Sir.
All right. So now is it okay, right? Now it's okay. Okay. So how do you go about preparing for placements? What all things do you keep in mind? First of all, you prepare the CV, right? And then you have a technical test, which have logical part also. Then you have a technical as well as logical interview, right? In the campus placement, you normally have one round of technical interview and then one round of HR interview. But if you go off campus, then you may have multiple rounds of interviews. And both interviews and all the interviews will consist of technical as well as logical part. And finally, you have that HR round, right? So we will cover each and every step, how to make a good, effective resume, then how to crack the technical test, then how to go about preparing for the logical test, then what all things you should consider in soft skills for a particular company. And finally, we'll be talking about, certain company profiles, that a product-based company has certain expectations, then a services-based company has certain other expectations. So all those expectations I'll try to cover in next 1.5 hours. All right. Presentation. Okay. So first of all, in the technical test, what do you think are the expectations of a company from the candidates? In the technical test, we are not talking about logic or soft skills. What do you think are the expectations of a company in so far as technical test is concerned? Anybody? Do you think that very high-end technologies like .NET is important? Do you think that very script-based technologies are important, like JavaScript or AppleScript or PHP, etc.? Anybody? Okay. So I'll tell you about my observations. I have been in the interview panel of few companies like Adobe, ST Microelectronics, and Alcatel, and I have certain observations while visiting the campuses, right? So I will tell you my observations and my expectations, and you may agree or disagree with those, right? If you find my logic convincing enough, then you may take those. If you don't find my logic convincing enough, then please either counter me or don't accept that logic. Yeah. They're saying you can open PowerPoint first. Okay, so I tell you my understanding of the expectations of a company so far as the technical test is concerned. I think first of all, companies expect clarity of concepts. They don't expect you to have very high-end knowledge of things. You know, they don't expect you to know .NET because that may not be part of course curriculum of MCA so far as many universities are concerned. Right? So, but they expect clarity of concepts. Second thing, they expect you to have a logical ability to relate theory with practical. Right? They expect you not to have just mugged up the things, but to have the practical, but to have the knowledge of the practical aspect of whatever you have read. Right? So these are the two things which a company primarily expects.
मैकिन्टॉश की फाइल है सर.
But PPT तो चलती है सब पे.
ये सर सेव एज आपको 2003 फॉर्मेट में बना है.
Okay. Can you hold it? So you are saying PPT, right?
Yes, sir.
आपके पास और कोई पेन ड्राइव है? ये थोड़ा हैवी है. पेन ड्राइव है क्या? इनमें से ये कैसे पता चलेगा कौन सा फॉर्मेट का है? ये वाला है. डायरेक्टली पेन ड्राइव से ही खोल दीजिए चाहे तो कॉपी करने के लिए. हो गया कॉपी हो गया. आ गया माइक ऊपर. Can I use this whiteboard marker? Okay, so I was talking about clarity of concepts. Let me ask you a sample question for that. Clarity of concepts. Suppose I have an integer variable, say integer x. It's a global variable, right? It's a global variable. Everybody knows C language here? Right? So it's a simple C language question. It don't have anything which you have not read in C language. Right? I have two functions. I have a function A and I have a function B. Both these functions returns integer variables, integer values. A returns 2 and B returns 3, right? In turns, A assign 5 to X and B assigns 10 to X, right? So there are one values which both the functions are returning. A is returning 2, B is returning 3, and they are also assigning X 5 and 10 respectively, right? Okay. It's not visible because it's written, should I write bigger? Right? So first function is A. Second function is B. And we have a main function here. So main is not doing anything. Main is saying that int y is equal to A plus B. Is it clear to all? अभी तो दिख रहा है सबको, right? Okay. So first question is, what will be the value of y? 5. Simple enough. What will be the value of x? That's the question. So is it? Let me give you options also. Is it 5 or is it 10 or is it none of these? Okay. So anybody can give me logic. Why is it none of these? Anybody? Anybody, please. Yeah, please. Is it an error? Then? Okay. Its initial value is 0, right? That every one of us agrees to. This function can, when this function says x equal to 5, is it not modifying this variable? It is modifying this variable only. Then it's an error, right? There is no local variable. Okay, so I should go to that level also. Okay, A is a function, B is a function, right? And main is a function, and x is a global variable. So this global variable is available to all these three functions. If a particular function changes the value of x, then that value of x will be changed for other two functions also, right? So this is the premise. ऐसा नहीं कि इसमें कोई एरर है. I was talking about a bigger fundamental question. This is a very simple question. Now anybody says none of these? Okay, I tell you what the problem is and why this question is put in any company's test or examination. The problem is that, A plus B. So both these functions will be called, right? Whether A function will be called first, then B function will be called, or B function will be called first and then A function will be called. This is the question, right? So suppose if we go by the first scenario that first A function is called, then the value returned by A will be 2, then B function will be called, then the value returned by B will be 3, and then these two values will be added by arithmetic and logic unit, and then they will be assigned to Y. So what happens is that when A is called, it changes the value of x to 5. Now when B is called, it overrides this value and assign 10 to x, right? So the final value of x will be 10. Agreed? Right? Now if scenario 2 is there, in case of scenario 2, B function will be called first. If B function is called first, B function will set x to 10 and it will return 3. Then A function will be called and it will set the value of x to 5 and it will return 2. So ultimate value of y will be 5. And what will be the value of x? 5. So value of x will be either 5 or 10 depending on the order of evolution of operands for plus operator. See, this plus operator has two operands, A and B, right? the order in which these operands are evaluated, that is actually defining the value of x, ultimate value of x. Right? Am I clear? Okay. So when I say y is equal to 2 plus 3, then also order of evaluation comes into picture. How does the order of evaluation comes into picture? Whether 2 will be brought from memory to register first or 3 will be brought from memory to register first. But that order of evaluation of operands is not changing anything for anybody. ठीक है? Memory से register में पहले 2 आए या 3 आए, it won't change the value of y. Right? In this case also the value of y is not getting changed. It's just that the side effect of calling of this function is changing the value of x in a way which is different for left to right evaluation of order of operands or right to left evaluation of order of operands. Is it clear? Okay. So now anybody, now let me give you another those same options. Value of x will be 5 or 10 or none of these. How many says 10? Okay. So you are assuming that order of evaluation of operands is from left to right. Okay, fine. Anybody else for 10? Let me talk about associativity also. Associativity comes into picture only when we have more than one operators. Here we have only one operator. If I say that 2 plus 3 minus 5, then associativity of plus and minus operator is from left to right, like the lady is saying. So first 2 plus 3 will be evaluated, then 5 minus 5 will be evaluated, right? But here we are not talking about the associativity. Here we are talking about order of evaluation of operands for plus operator. Right? So associativity is not coming into picture. Is it clear? Now you want to change your answer? Or you are still with 10? Why? No, here only one operator is there. Okay, so equal to is an operator, but equal to don't have same precedence as plus operator. And associativity comes into picture only when we have two operands of same precedence. अगर यहाँ पर ये multiply होता और ये plus होता, तो पहले multiply ही evaluate होगा, even if it is on the right hand side, right? So associativity comes into picture only when we have more than two operands and both the operands are of same precedence. Okay. So now you are still with 10. Why? So it's a wrong assumption, let me tell you. Anybody with 5? How many says 5? Why? See, it's again a wrong assumption. By stack, actually, you know why the stack comes into mind? Stack comes into mind because functions, when called, their activation records are always stored on stack, right? But it's a plus operator, and plus operation will be performed by arithmetic and logic unit of the processor. And before performing arithmetic and logic unit can only work on registers, right? So these two values need to be on registers. They cannot be on stack, right? You want to change your answer? No. Anybody for none of these? Okay. You can get a chocolate if you say none of these, because that's the right answer. Now you won't get it. Okay. So let me tell you a statement, right, which you will find written in C language standards. And the statement is, order of evolution of operands for plus operator is not defined in C language. You may write it anywhere. Order of evolution of operands is not defined for plus operator. I repeat, order of evolution of operands is not defined for plus operator. What does that mean? That means that if this is a C language, this is C language, right? And this is designed by Dennis Ritchie and all. C language has left so many things undefined. Lot of things undefined. And they have left those things for compiler writer to define those things. For example, what will be the maximum value of integer in C language? 3276. How many says 32767? It's a wrong answer, right? It's written in letter C, I know that, but that's the wrong answer, right? That's the wrong answer. Actually what happens is that integer is allocated memory. The memory allocation of integer is completely the prerogative of the compiler, right? So if you are using Turbo C, which most of you I assume are, then Turbo C runs in virtual 8086 mode. Even if you have a Pentium machine or Pentium Pro machine or any other machine, Turbo C will treat your computer as if it's an 8086 computer. Now 8086 computer has register size of 16 bits. Right? So if integers are stored in 2 bytes, which is 16 bits, then signed integer values will range from -32768 to 32767. Right? But that's not what is defined in C language. That is defined by the Turbo C compiler. Right? If you use another compiler, say GCC compiler, and you are using a 32-bit machine, then integer will be allocated 4 bytes of memory, and the range will be doubled. If you use another compiler, say Visual Studio, then integer may be allocated 2 bytes, which will keep the range same. So what C language has defined is that, can I rub it? Okay, let's not rub it. What C language has defined clearly in its standard is that size of short will be less than equal to size of int will be less than equal to size of long. इसके अलावा और कुछ भी डिफाइन नहीं है कि इंटीजर को कितनी मेमोरी एलोकेट होगी कितनी नहीं होगी. Like in Java, it is strictly defined that integer will be allocated this much amount of memory. In C Sharp, which has taken C++ as its base language, also the size of integer is clearly defined. But in C language or in C++, size of integer is not defined by the standard. Size of integer has to be defined by compiler. तो अगर आप टर्बो सी पे चाहे इस प्रोग्राम को 50 बार रन करो, इंटीजर विल ऑलवेज टेक 2 बाइट्स, राइट? सिमिलरली इस प्रोग्राम को आप जब भी टर्बो सी पे रन करेंगे, द बिहेवियर विल बी सेम. या तो वो लेफ्ट टू राइट होगा या वो राइट टू लेफ्ट होगा. ठीक है? सपोज इफ द बिहेवियर इज लेफ्ट टू राइट, देन द आंसर विल बी ऑलवेज 10. अगर आप किसी और कंपाइलर पे चलाएंगे तो ऐसा हो सकता है कि द आंसर इज ऑलवेज 5. बट इज इट सी लैंग्वेज और इज इट कंपाइलर? It's compiler. Right? So I repeat the statement again, that the order of evolution of operands for plus operator is not defined in C language. Okay, so this is the agenda. First of all, effective CV we will cover at the end, because we are already running out of time. So if I am not able to cover it, I will probably skip how to make effective CV. And you can contact me on email. I will send you the documents on how to make effective resume. Now we are talking about technical test. Then we will talk about logic, analytical and puzzle test, how to crack those. Then we will talk about soft skills, and we will talk about HR questions. Then I will tell you about company profiles, and finally I will be open to your questions. I will take last 5 minutes, if I am able to introduce myself and my company, right? If time doesn't permit, then we will skip this introduction part. Okay. So this was the first question which I asked you, that what companies expect. So my answer was that company expects strong fundamentals from you, and companies expect the ability to relate theory with practical. Right? By strong fundamentals we mean clarity of concepts, and by ability to relate theory with practical, we expect more you to more look into practicals than into theory. So sample questions. This is the first sample question of clarity of concepts. So this is the question which I have asked. Just that the values of x which I have taken are 5 and 10, and the values here are 10 and 20. So the answer is none of these, right? Answer is none of these. Okay. So is it only for plus operator, or is it for many other operators that order of evolution of operands is not defined? It is for many other operators. For example, let's take this question. What will be the contents of array after the execution of the below code? The code is that integer I is equal to 2, value of I is 2. Integer A is an array which has values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And finally I say that integer I, A of I is equal to I plus plus. Is it visible at the back? Should I switch off these lights? Or is it visible? Okay. So what will be the content of the array? Is it A, B, C, or D is none of these?